Hello, I'm Rachel. I'm going to be just giving you a couple quick things to follow up on that video you guys already watched for the defibrillator. Thank you, Melissa, for covering me today. So a few quick things. Our defib pads are going to be a little bit different than the Zoll if you guys are used to the Zoll. So our defib pads, you can follow the picture on the package, but when you pull them out, they're actually going to go top right and on the side here on the left, as opposed to in the middle and on the back. Our Lifepak doesn't have that CPR feedback that some other defibrillators have. So you would need to measure end tidal CO2 to get that CPR feedback. Otherwise, it's based off of just us watching you saying, hey, you're doing a good job, keep going, or maybe it's time to switch. Okay, so you guys should be passing this around and kind of practicing, but when you guys come up to your defibrillator, it should look like this. There should be a door on the front. So this door is on all the defibrillators outside of the ER and the ICU. That door is taken off. So if that door is off, it's in a manual mode. If that door is shut like this, it's automatically in a BLS mode. Okay, so you have a patient coding. First step, put your defibrillator pads on. They're multifunction pads. Open them up, put them on your patient. Your plug will plug into here, gray to gray, and then there's arrows for how to connect it. So you guys should be practicing that now while I'm talking, hopefully. Your defibrillator cable should be plugged back into itself. So it's gonna have this little test plug. When you guys are done using it, please plug it back into this test plug. That's how it runs its self-check at 3 a.m. Every morning it'll do its self-check. That's how you know it's working properly. Every day it'll have this little print off that says self-test succeeded. If it's not plugged back into itself, it will not do its internal checks. We'll have to run them manually. So you guys get your pads on your patient, open it up, pull the cables. You just take this apart like that. Take the gray end of your cable, arrow to arrow, okay? It just slides in. You don't need to squeeze to pull out, it's just a pull. So arrow to arrow, gray to gray. When you guys go back, this plug looks similar to your defib pads. Just plug that black end back in. Okay, so for a BLS mode, when you guys are in a code, put your pads on, hook them up. All you gotta do is hit the button. Hit green, do what it tells you.
Push analyze.
Push analyze. Push analyze, it's gonna tell you to stand clear. While it analyzes your rhythm, it's gonna tell you shock needed or no shock advised, resume CPR. It's gonna give you a 2-minute countdown. If it detects a shockable rhythm, it's going to charge for you in this BLS mode. Once it starts blinking, clear everybody. Go ahead and clear everybody, clear. Deliver your shock, resume CPR. It'll give you another 2-minute countdown, which you'll then need to analyze again while you do your pulse check. Okay, if this door is off, they are easily broken off and easily lost. So if you come up to your defibrillator, your BLS user, it has no door, it's gonna be exactly the same as long as you push analyze. And you can see on the defibrillator, it says AED mode across the top. As soon as you push on, it's not gonna tell you anything.
Push
Oh,
analyze.
yes it is. Push analyze. So if you push analyze, same exact
Analyzing
thing.
now.
It's just not covered. Now, in a manual mode to defibrillate, okay,
Push analyze. Remove
oh,
test
it's because my
plug.
test plug's on.
Connect elect. Connect
Okay.
electrodes.
So there we go. In a manual mode, once it was plugged into the test plug, so it thought we were trying to run a test. In a manual mode, meaning no door, as soon as you get it hooked on, you turn it on, you're gonna get your rhythm. You would interpret, if you determine it's time to shock, all you do is select your energy that you guys have decided, whether you or the physician, 200, 250, you're going to push charge if it's a shockable rhythm, and then shock, okay? For your, some common things I see is your EKG leads being applied during a code. So you really don't need these during a code. These pads will read your rhythm and deliver a shock. You would need these to pace somebody or to transport. So you can put them on to synchronize cardiovert if you're having issues with your leads. being tall enough and reading, but you don't necessarily need them. So for pacing, 100% of the time you need your EKG leads and your multifunction pads to read your rhythm and to shock. What else? So if you are synchronized cardioverting somebody, you put your pads on. You can do it without. We like to put our 3 lead on as well. Once you push sync, you're going to start getting these little notches across. It's going to read your QRS. You select what energy you're going to synchronize cardiovert them to. Once you get a good notch reading across the top, you push charge. The only difference is when you decide to shock, it might not be straight away. It might be off by like a half a second. You have to push and hold. That way it'll shock on that QRS. When you're pacing, you just turn on your pacer, put on your leads, hook up your multifunction pads. You're going to select your rate. It's just up and down here. Your current, turn it up until you have capture. This pause button, I know he mentioned this in the video, but this pause button is really important. Once you have capture, let me turn this off. Once you have capture on your pacing, you're getting a good rhythm that you're happy with. Please feel for a pulse. Make sure you're perfusing with your pulse. You're actually pacing, not just electrifying the person. Push this pause button. It'll give you a 4-to-1 ratio of what's underneath the pacer. So if the doctor wants to know what's the rhythm look like underneath what you're pacing, you just push and hold this pause button and it'll give you a printout of what you need. I don't think there's too much else. The most common thing we use these for, other than in a code, is going to be for transport. If you guys are transporting, you do not need your multifunction pads. We're not shocking anybody, right? Just go ahead and throw your 3 lead on your patient. Once you turn it on, you're going to hit this button that says lead. Once you hit lead,
Electrodes.
it's going to give you your lead. Okay? It's pretty easy. If it's not big enough, if your amplitude is not large enough, you can size up by hitting size and turn your size of your lead reading up. I think that's it. Thank you guys. Any questions, please refer to Melissa and she can pass those on to me, or we can follow up tomorrow on day 2. Thank you.